let's bring in Fred Leatherbury. He graduated from Gilman High School, the prestigious school with Mangione was valedictorian. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Who's the kid you knew that's now a young man?
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me on. The Luigi that I knew and that so many classmates knew was a hardworking, driven, social kid who had everything going for him. And you hear this in the testimony from his post-grad roommate as well. It's like a different person that we're seeing in all the headlines and the yelling and in the arraignment. Something has happened in the last 8 years, but back when I knew him, he was nice and polite and driven, athletic. He really had everything going for him, and he was everything you could want in a high school kid.
Freddie, did you see the change in him? For example, on social media, did he start to become an activist over time? Did you see different posting, taking on the system?
Not really. I saw the posts on his Twitter after the fact, but plenty of people start to get into ideologies, so that in itself didn't really raise any flags to me.
What was in the post?
Yeah, the post. People have grievances with society and don't act on it all the time, so that to me wasn't its own red flag, but drawing the connections after the fact certainly makes a lot more sense.
It's really hard to really label what his ideology is. On the one hand, there are posts that are, he's sort of endorsing right-wing ideas, but he's also, he got vaccinated, he was a climate activist, he also supported some things online that AOC said. So do you have any idea what it is, at any kind of contact with other people that from your school that have stayed in touch with him or follow him on social media? Any clues at all among your circle of friends?
Among my circle of friends, not really. I wasn't terribly close with Luigi. We all knew each other. It was a small school. But as far as any inclinations in school, in any direction politically, there really wasn't any. Of course, not everybody falls into a left or right bucket, and his grievances seem to be with the healthcare industry specifically. But there was nothing about that I can remember in the 8 years since we graduated from high school together.
What's been the... Oh, let's go ahead.
And Freddie, I think you told one of our producers you think that his actions were politically motivated, the little guy versus the big guy mentality. I got a question for you, though. In the last week, when that image of him pulling down the mask and also with the eyebrows in the car and stuff like that, did you, for a moment, think to yourself, that looks like Luigi?
That's interesting. I think when something so large profile happens nationally, I automatically disregard that it could be anybody that I know, just out of instinct. And the thing that I remember about Luigi, if anything, was his really distinct curly hair. And in all the security camera footage, all you saw was him with a hat on or a hood on. So that wasn't a connection that I was making. And of course, Italians in New York are a dime a dozen. So just the jaw structure alone, the face, that wasn't a connection that I was really rushing to make. So I really just brushed that off when I saw it, to be honest.
So when your school is a elite school, it's got this incredible reputation. So is the University of Pennsylvania. What's been the reaction amongst your classmates? Do you worry about the school being looked at differently now, that it reflects on all of you?
Well, it's natural when the school is in the headlines in such a negative light for things to go back there, for narratives to be tied back there. I don't think that's terribly fair to my school, to Gilman. There are a lot of really good, hardworking people. For every Luigi that it creates tens of thousands, if not more, really hardworking family men. So I don't believe that there's any real justification in tying anything back to Gilman. I know the PR department there has a nightmare on their hands right now as it is. So
what would you ask him if you saw him? Freddie, what would you ask him if you saw him today?
I'd say, what changed, man? I wish we could get inside of his head. I know we're kind of getting that in a little bit, but there's a lot we would like to learn about what he was thinking.
No kidding. All right. Freddie Leatherbury joining us from Baltimore.
Thanks, Freddie.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.